Okay, good morning then. Welcome to the betting channel with me, Al Bentley, for another day. Plenty to look forward to today. Fantastic day yesterday, more than that in a moment or two. And a big day today, as we've said. We're through until 11 o'clock, bringing you all the best betting opportunities, all the best bets. Stay with us if you can. Delighted to say that joining us in the studio, Perry Groves. You all right, Perry?
Morning, Al.
Looking forward to a good day today?
I was, until I found out that Song and Gallus weren't playing later on, so I think that could have a big effect on Arsenal's performance at Porto later on.
But I can reveal exclusively here on the betting channel a big injury boost for Arsenal. Almunia absent.
Yeah, well, that's one of the good news. Thing is, it'll be a big test mentally for Fabianski, because they rate him as highly as Boric, the number one Polish goalkeeper. And well, I know we'll talk about it a bit more later on, but they're going to come under a bit of pressure. And Song and Gallus are the only two defensive-minded players that Arsenal got in their team. So they're going to have it all on to keep Porto at bay.
Well, as you say, more on this later, but very quickly, there have been big drifters, Arsenal. I just wonder if the bookies have overreacted, or the public has overreacted, and the bookies have pushed them out, and all of a sudden we could yet be getting a hint of value about Arsenal against what is an ordinary team. Porto aren't great.
Yeah, Porto are not up there with the Benficas at the moment, you know, and Arsenal are always good for goals. Whatever you say about Arsenal, even when they got battered by Manchester United, they always looked like they was liable to score, and that's been their problem. They've been probably playing a little bit too open, and they've got to try and nick an away goal, and then it gives you a massive advantage for the home leg. Just
again, quickly on Arsenal, again, we'll touch on the game later. One or two disturbing rumours, more than rumours. You know, they're offering odds on now that Fabregas will be gone, and our understanding is that Arshavin will join him, not necessarily at the same place, but they'll both be out in the summer. Yeah,
Arshavin's body language hasn't looked good. I was a big fan of his when he first came, and I thought that if he got a run of games, he could be up there with the Wayne Rooney's and the Messi's as the best players in the world. His impact had scored 4 goals, didn't he, against Jorla up at Anfield last year.
Thanks.
We only had 4 shots.
And another one this year.
Yeah, exactly. But I think he's been disillusioned because he's been playing sort of a wide left position, and he likes playing spare behind the front man. And he started passing like 1 and 2 touch passing, where he's actually, Arsene Wenger brought him to be creative in and around the box with tight defences. And if I was which we are betting men, I'd be lumping on Fabregas now to go, because these two games against Porto, every game now in the Champions League for us is make or break, because we're not going to win the Premier League, and if we don't win trophies and Fabregas sees that Arsene Wenger's not going to buy established world star players, then I think he'll be gone. He'll be in the World Cup with his mates Iniesta and Xavi. They'll be in his ear roll, and agents will be in his ear roll. And if Spain win the World Cup, he gets another taste for it, because he's won obviously the Euros with Spain. And getting to his age, like at 23, 24, you want to be successful. You're judged by what you win. And I don't think Arsenal fans would blame him. It would be like a Ronaldo situation. It's your boyhood club you'd love to go to. You give us 7 or 8 years service. We haven't won anything in the last 5 years, and then he'll go with their blessing.
4 to 6 years to go at the end of the season. I just wonder whether he can fit in with Barcelona, given their embarrassment of riches in midfield. You say about Arshavin being disillusioned playing on the left. I think he's disillusioned with the impending tax regime, but perhaps I've got a jaundiced view on these things.
You're so cynical, Al.
Cynical, but perhaps right. Simone, dearest, what have you got? I love the scarf.
Thank you.
You look like Meg off Crossroads or something.
Well,
I mean, stepping back in time.
That's what you give with one hand.
I do.
And then take with the other.
He does,
you like me.
he?
You could have said you look like Jean Lola Bridges from the 50s, you know, a bit of class, but you look like someone off of, what did you say?
Olive off the buses, was it?
No, Olive was like,
Olive, Crossroads. I wouldn't mind betting there's a love fight under there.
Are you stuck in the 70s? Every reference you make is like on the buses, Crossroads. Meg Richardson, I'm like embarrassed I know that I name myself.
I am. There you go. I am stuck in the 70s. Anyway, Simone, as you find out later when we discuss our ageing porn stars, as inevitably we will. Simone, what have you got for us? And remind us, that's the email address.
Keep all your questions and comments coming today to all yours at thebettingchannel.tv.
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty to look forward to. As I say, we've got a bit of cricket. I'll just update you with the cricket, by the way. For Scotty, who's back from New Zealand against Bangladesh, a clash of the giants, this one. New Zealand, 553 for 7 declared in their first innings. Bangladesh, 408 they made all out. They were at one stage 196 for 6, and then Mahmudallah got 115, batting at 8, so the Kiwis letting them off the hook. The Kiwis 9 for 1 in their second innings, but of course, long odds on to win that one. I'll give you the price in a moment or two. And at the moment, it's South Africa 111 for 3, really struggling up against India. India 8 to 13, South Africa 200 to 1. The draw 13 to 10. The draw has come in, Perry, because yesterday it was as big as 5 to 2. So 1 or 2 are perhaps looking at the pitch and still thinking that South Africa could cling on. But I think with 3 wickets down and still well over a day to go, that's a struggle, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't be wasting my money on a draw, because there used to be the 2 spinners, like especially Harbhajan Singh. They're miles better than obviously the South African spinners. And you're not. If there was a day to go, then I think there'd be value in the draw. But as you said, you've got 2 days, so it's too much of an ask. You're needing Graham Smith, or
he's out. He's gone.
You're needing Garrett Graham Smith, or you've got Jack Callis. Or you need someone to get like a double century, and I can't see it happening.
Well, they've got Ambler still in. He has been in decent form. He's 45 at times. But Ashwell Prince, who's woefully out of form in the series against England, he's in with him. He's yet to score. So I still think 8-13 is decent.
I didn't watch it last night. Did they chuck the Night Watchman in?
Yeah.
Again, so it's just giving a wicket away.
Bonkers, isn't it? Just doesn't work.
I actually thought that specialist batsmen would be more adept at adapting to the conditions than what a Night Watchman would be.
Well, we spoke about this, didn't we, with Ashley Metcalf the other week, and he agreed with us. I mean, one of the few people to agree with us, I suppose. He couldn't understand the logic of putting in, rabbits, as it were, who look like rabbits in the headlights, and as you say, it just gives the impetus to the other team.
And the thing is, even if they survive those 5 or 6 overs, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to be out within the first 2 or 3 overs, the next day anyway. So then the established batsman has got to come in, and he's coming in cold. Where I'd rather that he went in, got used to the pitch. Come in the next day and he's ready to go. Yeah,
so the big guns are out. Smith out, Mishra got his wicket, and Mishra also got the wicket of Callis. 2 huge wickets from Mishra, who's taken 2 for 15 so far in his 7 overs with 3 maidens. Now, I don't know if we can listen. We should give ourselves a pat on the back for yesterday, shouldn't we? Let's have a look at what we said yesterday in terms of our best bets. We can have a butchers at this. You were all over Stoke to score first. To me, the only surprise was it took them that long.
I actually watched some of the first half, and they absolutely battered Man City. And we mentioned as well that you need your 2 centre halves and your goalkeeper to be nice and strong. And Lescott and Toure all over the place. The thing that worried me is obviously Stoke went down to 10 men, and they still managed to score the first goal, which Shay Given had an absolute nightmare, which is unusual for him. But I actually think he was a bit shaken up by the bombardment that he was getting. You could just tell that he wasn't quite himself, and Stoke should have won the game. I thought that Stoke would beat Man City, and Shawcross got above Shay Given, who come out like a sort of the schoolboy goalkeeper, and it was a perfectly legitimate goal. It wasn't given, but 11-8. I'd always be keeping an eye on Stoke at home for the first goal, because they do come out, they're high intensity. The 2 midfield players, Whelan and Whitehead, just close people down. And if you saw them getting around Vieira, if anybody is trying to tell me that Vieira is still the same player that he was, because he's lost his physical power, he's lost his power, his presence, and he should have been sent off, because he obviously kicked, I think it was Whelan in the unmentionables, and he should have been gone. So that would give Stoke even more of an advantage.
And City inevitably have drifted for the top 4 finish. Remember, they play Liverpool at the weekend. I just hope Liverpool learn from this. I still worry that Benitez won't go for the jugular. But Liverpool now 5-4 for a top 4 finish, even money with the magic sound, just waiting for the prices to come up there. Man City have drifted. They're at best price 6-4. To me, it's there for the taking for Liverpool. I mean, you look at I've got misgivings about all the other teams. I've got misgivings about Liverpool, for goodness sake.
If nobody finishes 4th this year, with the poor season that Liverpool had and the poor team that we've got, no one's ever going to finish 4th, because this is a time where everybody's vulnerable. If I was Steven Gerrard and Jamie Carragher, I would actually, as senior players, I would go to Benitez and say, look, I know we can't pick the team for you, but we don't want to be playing Mascherano and Lucas as the 2 holding midfield players at home. You've got to play Aquilani, and you've got to play whether it's Herrera or Rodriguez, and you've got to go and try and win the game. If they have the same performance and attitude that they had against Manchester United, where they actually stopped Man United from playing first, then Liverpool, I think, will go on and win the game. But
I don't care. I mean, it's away this game. I don't care whether it's home or away. Liverpool should go out and try and beat teams. They worry too much. Benitez worries too much about the opposition, in my view, and forgets what Liverpool have in their armoury.
Just go out and try and win the game.
That's a nonsense. So we got Stoke there. We always had Flores C in the cellar. OK, it was only a modest cellar, but as the couch pointed out, Flores C for David Barron was value. We got it at 11-4. The couch tipped up 11-4. Eventually went off at 11-8. And Matthew Walton is on again later. The outstanding Matthew Walton on the mark again with his top tennis bet. OK, it was only 8-13, but remember, as I said before about India against South Africa, 8-13, odds on can still be value, and 8-13 duly landed. And, well, I reckon it was 13-1. Scotty's saying 9, but if you had the 11-4 on Flores C, it was around about 13, a bit bigger than 13-1. So, well on mark with our top treble yesterday. The only problem is, Perry, you created a rod for your own back today.
Yeah, I know, but I thrive on pressure. Yeah. We'll see. Actually, I think we should have a little league table. Obviously, you're the man in the know, and we'll see who comes on top.
And can I mean, am I allowed to say, because we did get asked, my best bet, and my best bet was Manchester United, who did win 3-2. I mean, I don't know if you saw that game, the first half.
Was that because you heard me say that I think Man United win 2-1?
No, it wasn't, was it? Because I said Man United to win, and Ronaldinho the first half was outstanding. Did you see it?
I actually felt sorry for Raphael, because he was out of his depth, and
he had no cover, did he?
Exactly, a young player like that, Nani. wasn't interested in
No.
actually helping him out and say, look, they actually put Ronaldinho tactically up against Raphael to obviously take him on. And some stuff, he's a player, I don't care, he's a playboy and he goes out and AC Milan's legs went in, didn't they, from 65 centimetres. But he's a player, even for the first half, you would pay to watch play.
Yeah,
Some of his tricks and flicks and his little disguises that he has. And he just looks like he just enjoys himself. You know, he is someone that doesn't feel pressure at all.
And even later on, I mean, the one he put through for what's his name, the
Seedorf.
Inzaghi, that one as well, where he gave it the eyes and put it through that. I mean, there's skill to do that, to be looking one way and pass the other. I mean, you did it unintentionally most of the time.
The thing is, I didn't know what I was doing, so no one else knew what I was doing. So that was my big strength, and it became a weakness as well.
Yes, absolutely.
But I wouldn't want to be Raphael when he got in the dressing room, dribbling the ball into centre midfield, losing it. Ronaldinho gets it, and then obviously lays Seedorf in. That's just lack of experience. Just play off the front, boys. When Manchester United went 3-1 up, I was amazed that I was trying to get the fourth. You just say, right, we'll just sit. We'll have the back four. We'll sit the three midfielders in front and just play it, because Wayne Rooney was terrorising the back four anyway.
Can I also ask you though? I mean, to me, Ferdinand looked a mile off to me. He looked moderate, particularly in the first half. He really did. And again, it's all right blaming Raphael, but you got Ferdinand inside him. Johnny Evans, I think the panic spreads him. I thought Ferdinand was hopeless in the first half.
I actually thought that the balance of Man United team, they had Park in the middle of midfield trying to negate Prelo and then go and help Wayne Rooney, where I think they should put Park on the left-hand side, so it leaves you Fletcher, Carrick and Scholes in the middle, and Johnny Evans looked exposed. He needs someone in front of him to stop balls played into him, and it's the first time I've seen for about 10 years a manager on the touchline actually completely cane one of his players. And you could see with Johnny Evans, you didn't need to be like an expert in lip reading to see what he was saying. But I quite like that. See, these days of the cosseted, pampered players now, where you got to watch, you can't have a go at your egos. It was that you get yourself in order, sunshine, or half time you're going to be battered.
It was great to see, wasn't it? Because of course, being the Italian director, he didn't understand necessarily the words that Fergie was using, but the rest of us did.
I think it was industrial language from the steel yards of Glasgow.
It was, but again, Ferdinand. Just going back to that, he didn't look good to me.
He didn't look good, but the thing is, in his defence, I think out of defence, him and Evra, you'd probably give them a 6 out of 10, where I think Raphael and Evans would be a 4. You know what I mean? And he's coming in, he needs a bit of help himself. But I just thought their shape was wrong. But the brilliant thing about Manchester United is Alex Ferguson he panicked obviously with Johnny Evans because he thought he was having a stinker. But he doesn't rant rave, sits there. He trusts him to go and try and score goals. And I thought Wayne Rooney showed a lot of maturity, because he was getting frustrated. Nani kept crossing the ball with his Aladdin slippers on behind the goal, and you could see that he was getting frustrated with him. Then he got booked, and you think, you better calm yourself down now, because you could be gone. And at half-time I said, look, just keep your composure, keep your patience, you will get chances. And his first header was absolutely world-class. That was like going back to the Joe Jordan days, at the far post, and just guiding it back into in off the far post. So I thought he was outstanding, Wayne Rooney.
And I've got to say as well, I mean, I'm not trying to stick up for the goalkeeper of AC Milan, but I thought Andy Gray was a little harsh, saying he was at fault for the first goal. I mean, that was an utter fluke from Paul Scholes. You wouldn't try that, but he's set himself for going one way, it's gone the other, right as far in the corner as you can get. I thought it was a bit harsh.
That's a very difficult skill to negotiate when you're doing over and comes off your left shin. Actually, I think what it was, Andy Gray was saying he didn't think that Dida got his angles right. He thought he was a little bit flat on his line. But he was right what he said. He'd had a couple of fumbles before, and he dropped across. He's just an accident waiting to happen. I think what he did, he just sort of carried on with that and said, well, I'm going to blame... In his head, I think he wanted to blame the goalkeeper for a goal, and he thought, right, I'll blame him for that one.
We did warn you, by the way, about the Portuguese referee. To be fair, I thought he had a good game. And if you look at it, it was Carrick who kicked the ball away, so there's no excuse for that. We did say he did dish out the odd red card, and he did again last night. And then the other one we again mentioned, didn't we, in the Europa Cup, Sylvain Distin, we said about him going forward. He scored the second goal. I know he got sent off later on, but he scored the second goal. It was 50-1, and we said, perhaps have a look at him each way to be the first or last goal scorer. He scored the second goal for Everton, so either way you would have picked up last night, given only 3 goals. So Sylvain Distin, we tipped up at 50-1. So all in all, a decent day here on the betting channel, but let's hope for more today. When we come back in a mo, we'll be hearing from the couch. Stay with us.